just exactly what we dreamed of. I mean, it is, it's beyond our dream. My name is Gary Mahn, and I've been in the business community here in Boise since the early 70s. In 1985, I bought Fisher's office equipment, Fisher's Office Products, which had 8 employees and was located where Moon's is in the Union Block building.
I'm Gary Smith, and in the early 80s, I was general manager of the Mode, which is now a restaurant bar. At that point, was a privately owned department store of 50,000 square feet. The Mode was founded in 1895. It was started by one of the Falk families. The Mode had over 100 employees. It was 3 stories and a basement. So we were kind of the high-end retailer in downtown Boise. In the mid-80s, if you came downtown, the streets weren't cleaned on a regular basis. The sidewalks weren't cleaned.
It was a very worried business community because there was not a lot of activity downtown. It was not very attractive. It didn't have flowers in pots sitting on the corners or in front of businesses. The buildings themselves weren't very attractive, particularly if people had closed up shop and left downtown.
We had a merchants association at that time, and we had one purpose, and that was during Christmas. Volunteers would stand on borrowed trucks and we would decorate the light poles with sorry, worn out Christmas decorations that were 20, 30 years old. A lot of people had given up on downtown. So we talked about how much we love downtown, but the drawbacks were there was no one stepping up. It wasn't a lack of compassion or caring, it was a lack of coordination and resources.
The impetus behind this change and the impetus behind the Downtown Boise Association really was when Mayor Erdley and the City Council back at that time really wanted the mall to be downtown. It was very controversial. Of course, everybody thought that the downtown area was going to die, and it was kind of already dead. I mean, it wasn't doing well, so it couldn't die much more than it had been.
Some folks, including Gary, Mahn, and me, we had a vision. A vibrant downtown and a suburban mall were not mutually exclusive. We recognized that downtown would probably change in terms of the retail environment and mix, but there was always going to be a place for a special experience. For several months, at least 3 days a week, one of us was meeting with a tenant. We looked at the outline map of what our proposed district was, and we met with every tenant or every owner, every single one, sharing our vision, trying to have them come on board with us. And it was a long process. Our role simply was to go out and ask. And it's amazing what people will do if you ask them to join and share a vision. Once we got out there and started asking people, that critical mass began to build.
Then we formed the Downtown Boise Association. And one of the major deals there was to create an environment where people wanted to come downtown and enjoy the downtown. But it had to be clean, it had to be well marketed. With regard to the Downtown Boise Association, we happened to be kind of in the leadership roles, but there were a lot of other people. And I mean, not just up and down the street retailers, but people in law firms, in accounting firms, professionals. And they all shared the same vision that we had. They weren't making their money the same way we were off of the retail trade, but they cared about downtown, and they still to this day care. Our Downtown Boise Association created some events. We said, we need to get some people down here. Let's have something on Wednesday night, and we'll call it Alive After 5. And we started it out down there, and we go down to the plaza by the Boise Center on the Grove. We'd go down there, and the only people who'd be there were the members of the board of the Downtown Boise Association. We'd have this big place. We'd have it all set up. We'd have a little band, and we'd have cocktails, and we'd just be ourselves, okay? And pretty soon, it took months, but it took off. And just look at it today. I mean, it's standing room only.
From the hole in the ground to the dirt parking lots to where we are today, and its families are welcome, it's very special. When I bring guests here and we walk downtown, it's an experience, and you don't always get an experience in life.
My daughter invited my wife and me out to breakfast recently and said, I want to show you downtown. And then she said, now, come on, I want you to see something. And so we walked down into Bodo. And we stood on that corner where the Chinese restaurant is. Stood on that corner, and I did a full 360. And of course, you see the whole Jump project. You see Zion's Bank, all the other buildings and activities that are going on down there. And that brought tears to my eyes too, just seeing that. It's pretty special, because I think, I don't know if we dreamed all that. I don't think so. But what we did dream was that downtown Boise would be a place that people would want to come to and enjoy themselves. And that's what's happened.